Hey everybody, it's going to be a short video going over the sample essay, first compare contrast sample essay that you were asked to read, Parenting 101. So this is an example of a compare contrast essay that uses the side by side or one side at a time approach to organizing the comparing and contrasting. So remember, that's where you've got subject A and subject B. You're going to discuss everything about subject A first and then discuss everything about subject B. So that's how this one is organized. So we have a good introductory paragraph, grabs our attention. The film previews are finished and the movie theater is quiet as everyone waits for the feature film to begin. However, the stillness is suddenly broken by a noise. The audience hears a sniffle. The sniffle soon turns to a cry, then a wail. There is an uncomfortable or perhaps unhappy toddler sitting in the movie theater. People start shuffling in their seats as they wait for what will happen next. Will the child be taken out of the theater, or will the parent pretend that everything is okay? Scenarios like this happen regularly. The parent's reaction depends on their parenting style. The two extremes are the lenient, laissez-faire parent and the strict disciplinarian parent. All right, so they grabbed our attention with this scenario, which is a great scenario for how two different parenting styles would handle a particular situation. And then he just goes from that scenario and punches us right with the thesis statement. The parent's reaction depends on their parenting style. The two extremes are the lenient parent and the strict disciplinarian parent. So he talks about the lenient parents first. Lenient parents often focus on their child having fun and enjoying being a kid. And then he gives examples of different things that a lenient parent might do or not do with their kids because they're focused on the child having fun and enjoying being a kid. At the end of that paragraph on the lenient parents, he says these types of parents see themselves as guides for their children, which cannot be said about the second parenting group, the disciplinarians. Then he moves on. He gives us a good topic sentence to go into the next section. Disciplinarian parents consider themselves role models for their children. Unlike lenient parents, their main priorities are the safety and protection of their children. And then he goes into how the disciplinarian parents handle situations because they're more concerned about safety and protection. And then he ends with, in the end, no parents are truly 100% lenient or 100% strict when it comes to raising their child. Most fall somewhere in the middle, depending on the child, the environment, and the particular situation. And then draws it to a close. Leaves us with this interesting question. Which style will these children choose when the time comes for them to become parents? Right, so not the most outstanding essay, but it's a really good, quick example of how to organize the essay doing the one side at a time method of work development. Right, so just remember, you need an introductory paragraph that grabs your reader's attention, slowly introduces your topic, but by the end of that first paragraph, there is a sentence, a thesis statement that tells us exactly what the rest of the essay will be about. So if you are comparing your two topics, that needs to be clear in that thesis statement. We don't want to be guessing at the end of that first paragraph, okay, well, I know they're going to be looking at both of these, but are they going to be comparing them or are they going to be contrasting them? Are we looking at similarities or differences? That needs to be clear. Just like in this essay, he made it crystal clear that he was going to be discussing the differences between these two parenting styles. And then whichever one you listed first in the thesis statement, that's the one you need to discuss first in the body of the essay. So he mentioned the lenient parents first, so that's what he discussed first. Remember too that whatever you're using to compare and contrast them needs to be of equal importance, and it needs to make sense. So if we're dealing with parenting styles, we're going to talk about how they how they interact with people, how they get disciplined, if at all. Right? So we're not talking about one parent, the lenient parents don't follow a schedule. They, the parents are okay if when accidents happen. We're not going to then go to the disciplinarian parent section and talk about how they choose clothes for their kids. You got to keep it roughly in the same vicinity of each other. So whatever things you're going to talk about that make subject A what it is, you have to sort of be able to look at similar things with subject B, even though they're going to be different. So it has to still be on the same level, even if you're looking at the differences. So keep the organization in mind, keep your transitions and topic sentences in mind, and then don't forget the concluding paragraph. Leave us with some sort of final thought. So I know this is a very quick video over this one, but again, it's really just more about seeing the example of how it's organized, and sticking to the basic elements of essay writing. We're not, we're not shooting for the stars here. Just show that you can write a college level essay with an introductory paragraph that grabs your reader's attention and has that thesis statement, that controlling idea, and that then you can organize everything. If you're choosing to do the compare and contrast, just make sure that you are clear. If you're using this, one side at a time method, that you stay on track and follow the same thought pattern for both subjects. And if you have any questions about this particular essay, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, you can move on to the next video.